Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year. That's wonderful. Hello, everyone. The broadcast has started. I don't know if they can hear us, but we're here, admiring the mug.
I can't even find it. Oh, that's you. That's me. Oh, I'm watching an ad. That's why.
No, I gotta log in. We're struggling, and by we, I mean I am struggling. I just got home last night and my flight got delayed like 2 hours, so I didn't actually get to sleep till like 1 a.m. And then Jessica somehow managed to transfer her sickness to me, putting all the blame on you.
It's fine. It has nothing to do with you being in an airplane with a bunch of other sick people or anything at all. Nothing to do with that.
Just right now. It happened right now.
As we were sitting here, it just like jumped through the computer screen.
It immediately happened, yes.
Yeah, totally fine.
Well, I also have tea in my mug, so everyone let us know what you're drinking as we struggle through getting everything open and ready.
Right. Tell us what you're drinking and ignore my squeaky and or ingoing outcoming voice. Yeah. It's been 3 weeks. Like, I just gave up this morning and started filming videos. Like, I've been trying to wait until I could, like, talk normal like a human.
Yeah.
I just gave up.
Poor Jess. My goodness.
Hi, Phoebe. Phoebe's here. She's drinking water.
I see. Water for Phoebe.
Lots of hot chocolate and green tea. Hot chocolate.
Hi, Lindsay. Black tea latte. All of these sound so good. Ooh, mango juice. That's really what I want right now.
Chloe has hot chocolate with marshmallows.
That
it's cheating.
Is amazing. So good. More water. Hello, everyone.
I also have water for when my coffee is gone, but and it's coffee with the Starbucks caramel macchiato creamer, and it's delicious.
Yeah. That sounds good.
I will die on that hill.
Well,
it is the best creamer ever.
Oh no, I'm slightly delayed from you, I think.
No.
I know. This is how I feel today, though. I just feel delayed. But like, I see your mouth moving, and it's like 4 seconds later that I hear you.
I can hear and see you fine. So what's going on the screen? On the other screen. I'm going to unmute it really quick.
Okay.
So it's going to be bad. I'm going to unmute it really quick.
Okay.
We're normal on there.
Okay. So it's just my end.
It's just you.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So today, guys.
Don't stare at my face when you talk.
As most of y'all know, at these Authortube chats, Jessica and I tend to talk about the topic for a good little bit of time, and then we move into books and TV shows and whatever we want to talk about. Today might be planning or goals or whatever. But yeah, so the topic today is just the Authortube community, the writing community on YouTube. And we noticed that because there's been this like huge influx of people recently, which is incredible, things have changed a lot just so quickly. So we wanted to chat about it with you guys, see if y'all have noticed any specific changes, if you guys have started making Authortube videos in the past year. And yeah, Jess and I actually started making videos around-ish the same time.
It was within the same 30 days.
Yeah, and then Jessica has the stat. She looked it up. And then we commented on each other's videos earlier than she thought.
It was way earlier than I thought. It was like, I think you started late December and I started early January. You were 2016, I was 2017. Mm-hmm. And then like within March, we were like already commenting on each other's videos.
Yeah. See, guys?
I didn't think it was that early.
Yeah. We've been friends for a while now.
Yeah. It's so weird because like there's like no like frame of time, because I think your anniversary has already happened. Maybe. It's like I said, it was like late December. And then mine is beginning of January, so crazy.
Wow, I heard none of that. Hold on, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna change my internet really quick, guys. I will be right back. Hopefully Jess, like, the connection will still work and she can entertain you, and I'll be back. I'm so sorry.
I will entertain everyone. My own story. No, this is not going to be a sprint. This is where we chat.
Hello.
We do these monthly. Hello? Yes? No, maybe?
Is it working now? I hear you at the same time that I see your mouth moving. It's incredible.
It was working before for me. I don't know
No,
what
I don't. Okay, well.
Oh. I wonder why.
I'm so sorry, you guys. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Christy Worthy says she's going to be starting her YouTube channel in 2020. Look at you.
Yeah, I can come in randomly.
We're at the same time. Look at that.
Yeah.
I had to approve it. It was considered spam.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird.
What is that all about? I'm like, all right, I'll just approve that one, weirdo. I don't know if it's maybe like they feel like someone's like spamming the comment section with their own channel.
YouTube stuff, yeah.
But that's weird because there's like not a link or anything.
Look at that. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone from all over the world.
Yes. Well, so, okay, since the last thing I heard was how we met, I'm seeing other people who are wanting to start in 2020 also. So should we just start like at the kind of the beginning of the year, what we noticed? Because from my memory, early 2019, it was just like there were some people who there were a couple bigger channels, but then that was like it. And it was just all these people just kind of starting out. And then how you define a big channel versus a small channel is like kind of whatever. But
well, I think in Authortube world, because again, this is the community as a whole, Authortube, booktube, it's all kind of meshes together. But
yeah.
In the Authortube world, I would say anything over like 15,000 is a big channel, because I think I don't know anybody. I'm trying to think of Jenna Morassi and think of what she has, but I don't think anybody has 1 million.
No.
I don't know that anybody has several 100,000s. Even the bigger channels. So I would think anything over 15,000 would be considered a large channel.
Yeah.
And most channels, I would say, are under 5. I mean, technically, at the beginning of 2019, I would say Mandy Lynn was considered a larger channel, and she had like 5,000 people.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think you could still consider that. I think that's part of the thing with because there's so many new people joining, it looks kind of like a pyramid, you know, where it's like there's the itty bitty few at the top, and then there's a lot of people who've started doing it. Yeah, I can see Catty-tastic. Jenna has 230,000 plus now, but I think she's the only one. I think the next person who has a lot is, I don't even know who you'd want to count at that point, but I think they're under 100,000.
Yeah. Well, and Kat is again more booktube than Authortube, and in booktube, the larger channels, it's nothing to have several 100,000. It's a much bigger community. So on that aspect.
Yeah. Well, and I know, so Jess still makes more booktube videos than Authortube maybe, but I have been a fan of booktube for a long time now, and obviously Jess, who's like involved in it, it's been so interesting to see the parallels between where booktube was and now where Authortube is kind of going, because there once upon a time was an explosion in booktube. You know, there were a few people, then there were a lot, and then there were so many, and that's, I think, exactly what we're seeing now, which is really cool. that there's more people. I think the problem becomes that now, because there's so many, like once upon a time, you kind of, sort of, maybe at least knew of everyone who was making videos. Now, I know with the NaNoWriMo vlogs was when I really had that moment of like, oh my God, I had no idea there were so many people I hadn't heard of, not just people who started out just now. Hi, Caro. Like Caro. Okay, so Caro, I had somehow not heard of until a few months ago, I think, maybe around July, and I don't know how that happened. It's just that there's so many people, and now it's like there's kind of smaller fractions within the community, and so you try and reach out, and then you find some new people, and that's how I found Caro, and I really love her videos. So yeah, it's just an interesting sort of dynamic that wasn't there before this year.
Yeah.
Good point, Lindsay.
I think the monetization has changed a lot over the past year and is still continuing to change with the new COPPA laws and all of that jazz that I can't figure out. But I think that it's just, we're very saturated at this point, and especially during nano vlogs, when people are doing daily vlogs, it's so hard to find time to watch everything. And I mean, I don't know, because I didn't do daily nano vlogs. I barely did nano, but I don't know how well those were viewed versus like everyone else's regular videos.
So I'm gonna have to see what stats I can and can't share when I pull this. If I can pull this up, I will look and see what I can find. But yeah, it was during NaNoWriMo where it really was, even as someone who was making daily vlogs, so I contributed to the problem. It was so hard for me. I had to finally settle into watching maybe one person's video a day and just picking and choosing who that one was going to be. And the problem is, once you make Authortube friends who are like now, I mean, they're all real life friends, but like actual real life friends too. Like Jess is my real life friend. It's like, how do I choose between their videos, so this group of people, then Authortube friends I want to get to be more friends with and choose their videos, and like it's all just, it's a mess. It's a mess.
I know that there were days where like I would see something that I wanted to watch from someone new, and so like I would watch that rather than like watch maybe Becca's video or Emily's video, but I would like play it while I was gone. Like I would,
well, that's sweet.
so that it would at least get the view. But like, I'm like, I already kind of know what's going on because we were talking about it in the group chat. So like, I kind of know how their day went already, but
Yeah.
I can help their view count. So like, I would just like make a playlist and just play them, and like while I was out doing something else. And
that's so sweet.
I can do when there's like 80 people doing daily vlogs during Nano. It was just a mess.
Yeah. Well, see, and this is the plus side. So like Christy decided to do NaNoWriMo because of seeing videos of me or other people doing NaNoWriMo, and congratulations on your 50,000. But like, I think that's the great thing about Authortube. So the saturation thing is an interesting question though, because I think BookTube went through something where they're like, there's too many videos, there's so many hauls, there's too many wrap-ups to watch or something. And I don't know, other than with NaNoWriMo time, which BookTube doesn't really have an equivalent, maybe some readathons, but it's not quite the same. I don't really know that we're, I don't think we're saturated. So it's just, I
don't think it's an issue at all. Like, I love I say smaller channels, but like I have 1,000 subscribers, so I'm a smaller channel. But like, I love watching newer channels, and I love getting to like learn more about new people. And I do prefer people that have more of like Authortube and BookTube content connected. Just because that's just my preference of videos to watch. But I do enjoy like getting to learn more about new people, and I don't think it's overly saturated. I don't think it ever will be, because you're going to click with different people and you're going to enjoy different people. And I think that if you're happy with who you're watching, then that's fine. And you can, Lindsay the other day, had a video go up that was booktuber recommend or authortuber recommendations.
Yeah.
And so when you have someone like Lindsay that you enjoy watching, and then they're recommending 5 authortubers, you know that you can go and watch them, and they're probably also going to be in your same realm of people that you enjoy. So
yes, this Lindsay, if you want to find her.
Lindsay Puckett.
To go back to your question, Jess, about the views over the NaNoWriMo daily vlogs, I think something that I noticed and other people who are doing daily or maybe even weekly vlogs is that first little bit of time, there's better views. And then afterwards, it kind of settles in and goes back to what I think is normal. But then it's like people discovering it for the first time. So does that, is that a better thing? Like one new subscriber, one new view that someone who's never seen the community before will now go and subscribe or find a lot of other people. So, it's, I don't know how you measure that sort of thing. But my personal views were up for like the first week or so, and then kind of went slowly, gradually back down. I even noticed with subscribers, there was this time period where it ducked under what I even like normally have, just because you're getting into like days 22 to 28 or something. Unless you're still doing NaNoWriMo, you don't care. So it's one of those things.
I gave up on like day 14. I didn't care at that point.
See, Magical Lindsay, that's a very good question. I again forgot to add the link to Jess's channel and the playlist, I think. If I
don't want anybody to like me. It's fun.
So if you search Jessica Williamson, you will find her. And then I'll add it before, like once this is posted. So I apologize, you guys. I always forget to add the like new links for like the different videos. So I have the standard links and then the new ones, I just create the thing and go.
I feel like I should just like put like you and Becca and Emily and Phoebe like just in like the random, like it always is in there.
Yeah.
I talk about you guys so much that it's just like, just leave them in there.
Same. I'm sure some people, when they're watching my videos, they're like, who's this Becca person that she keeps mentioning? Like, I don't say Becca C. Smith. It's just Becca. It's just Jess. It's just Phoebe and Emily. And yeah, I'm not as...
And if you don't know, what's wrong with you?
You don't know, sorry. Let's see. Kara says, you mean the loss of the honeymoon phase of the daily vlogging for now? I figure everyone's focused on their writing and get back up to one. I think that's also it for sure, too. Especially once you're getting farther along and you're just kind of panicking. So.
Well, and we kind of discussed too that like in the same vein of like the massive amount of daily vlogs during Nano, there's also been a massive amount of live streams.
So many live streams, which is incredible.
It's great.
But also goes back to, there's a lot of overlapping live streams. So do you go into one and then leave another? And then kind of goes back into how do you find it? 'Cause I know smaller channels, I think once you have, someone tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like I'm wrong. Once you have 100 subscribers, you can live stream. Okay. And so there's people who are newer to it who wanted to do live streams, and there's people on Authortube who do exclusively live streams. But so then it's just hard to find new people to stream with and watch when there's so many. Like, it's a good and bad thing. I think Caro, actually, I'm not on the Facebook group, though I'm technically a member because I'm not on Facebook, but she made like a spreadsheet, I think. Jess, I think you linked it several times, so of people who were streaming.
And I originally started doing one at the beginning of Nano, and someone was helping me with it on Twitter, and I haven't looked at it in forever. Mm-hmm. Like it's still pinned on top of Twitter, like it's my pinned comment, but like as the month went on, and I was just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it since, so.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm the worst. I see Carol was talking about the people who do pop-ups or random ones. That's me, because I don't announce my live streams, I feel like, until way later in the game. And I don't have a regular schedule. But I appreciate the people who do. Like Kevin and Laura's Thirsty Thursday write-ins. I love that I know on Thursdays they will most likely be writing, so that's always nice.
There's also, if I can find it, I know Carol has the spreadsheet, but there's also one that is like a Google Calendar. Does that sound right?
I think is that Carol's?
Maybe. Heck if I know. I don't know.
Oh,
there's so many I can't keep up.
I know. Well, we should mention it now, and then we can kind of put it aside. But Jess and I didn't want to do this thing, noticing the trends and changes, without pointing out that obviously this year also saw people who were selling courses to their Authortube audience and not being upfront or purposely kind of misleading or trying to hide their credentials and selling things at a really high cost. And we're still seeing that kind of thing. And Jess and I are both, upset and disappointed that ever happened and that it still happened. So
it's still happening, just not on YouTube at the current moment, but people who were previously on YouTube. So
yeah. So we want to throw it out there. We don't want to bully anyone or do anything like that, but we need to mention it because that was a crazy part of
this year.
So
if you want to talk about it and get all the dirty details, you go to Guru Gossip and you read it on there. We could have an entire video about it, but it's not something that we want to focus on the positive aspects and not necessarily the negative.
Yes, and also I may have made a couple videos about it.
Someone made some comments. I don't know if that was me here.
Yeah. So anyways, it happened. It's still happening. And I think the lesson here is try to do your due diligence as someone who's a viewer and a fellow Authortuber and whatever. And also just don't do it yourself. Yeah, I think that's it.
Do your due diligence as someone who's spending their hard-earned money on something that may or may not be worth it.
Yeah. But that does bring in another thing that I think Jess noticed, is that the trend of Authortube, she's like, what?
What did I do?
The trend of Authortube has shifted sort of from, back in 2018, there was a lot more advice, a lot more tip videos, and I'm not saying those don't still exist, but the trend has moved into these vloggy, what am I doing, what am I writing kind of videos. And I think part of that is because at a certain point, a lot of the tips have been shared in whatever way they're going to be shared, or how can you as one creator continue to share the same tip or something. But you can always talk about your story. And I think YouTube itself, since we can wrap that back in, since Lindsay brought it up, but YouTube itself is now wanting people to make longer videos still. I think that was something that was in 2018 and has continued into 2019. So, vlogs are longer usually. So anyways, I think it's just an interesting way to see what the community norms are and how that's sort of changing, and if it will continue to change in the future, who knows?
Yeah, it's definitely been more about your journey as an author and your and even though it's your process, but you're not telling people how they should do it, you're telling people how you are doing it. And I think a lot of that does reflect back on all of the drama, but I think it's because we're seeing what people are, the community as a whole, what it's okay with and what it's not. And I think that the people that were doing things that people are not okay with are starting to leave the platform. Some of them already have. And it's just, I enjoy the journey aspect. And I've said that before, I'll never be a channel where I'm telling you how to do something, but I'll tell you how I'm doing something. Because what works for one person isn't going to work for everybody. And
exactly. Yeah. And I feel similarly. I also just feel like there's few things as some like where I'm at in my stage in my writing career that I can actually give advice on anyways. So if I tried, it wouldn't be helpful to anyone and it would be disingenuous and kind of get back into the same issue of like inflating your credentials on something. So
Yeah, you nor I have anything published, so for us to tell someone how to publish a book would be really dumb.
would be bad.
It's that easy. Why haven't we done it already?
Exactly. And then, yeah, so anyways, advice has changed. I think the means people are also giving advice has changed. And obviously, the other thing I guess that's interesting is that certain things work for certain people. So like Jenna Moresi, not that hers are advice videos, but I think they tend to be like a little bit more like listicle in nature, like the 10 tropes or something that I don't like seeing in fantasy novels or something like that, you know? And I kind of expect that sort of video from her. So it's interesting to see different people. And I assume like vlogs are usually what I do more on. So I assume people, you know, watch more of my vlogs or expect vlogs from me rather than if I were to do the thing that Jenna Moresi does or whatever. So I think people are finding the places that they want to be in or just kind of tiptoeing around stuff. I still try and throw booktube stuff into my content. So
I think I have ruined the algorithm for myself forever because like my 3 most watched videos have been my planner videos.
yeah.
So like now I think it's just suggesting me to planner people and not to Authortube or booktube people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. I mean, technically they were planners for readers or for writers, but yeah. So I think I've ruined the algorithm for myself, but it's fine.
It's fine.
It's, you know what, in 2 years, if I'm like, I hate it, I'll just start a new channel. That's what everybody else does.
It really is whatever. I've seen that so much on BookTube recently. So it'll be interesting bringing back in how AuthorTube just has sort of followed BookTube when we start to see that happen. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I think that people don't realize the way that the algorithm works, especially when you are a smaller booktuber or an authortuber rather. I say booktube a lot when I mean authortube. I'm sorry. It's just easier to say.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I think even like a lot of smaller channels don't realize how much the algorithm can affect things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they only promote videos that are longer than 10 minutes. They typically only promote videos that have longer than a 24-hour time span in between them, but they want them to be like done at the same time on the same day of the week. And they want it to all be like in the same content theme, in the same theme.
Yeah.
And so when you're not doing those things, the algorithm may or may not send you out to people. So
Yay, see, and then there's Sandra, who's just starting to dive into AuthorTube. And that's awesome. So it'll be interesting to see if there's, obviously it's like impossible to check how many booktubers there are. It would be, and so it's probably impossible to check how many authortubers there actually are. I know there's a, because I love Reddit, but there is like an AuthorTube subreddit that someone has just like kind of made a list of AuthorTubers. But obviously it's not like an all-encompassing list. It's like 100-something people, I think, which can't possibly be right. But like you can ask to be added to the list, but it's not a big deal. It's just for me, I'll see people on there and I'm like, I've never heard of that person, so I guess I should go check them out or something. I just wish there was a way that we could all find each other. I guess the Facebook group theoretically, but no Facebook for me.
I think I might be in an AuthorTube Facebook group. I'm honestly not even sure. Much like you, I'm very rarely on it.
Mm.
I hopped on yesterday to thank whatever lady paid for my lunch in the drive-through line ahead of me.
Yeah. So nice.
Just like a cosmic thank you, world.
Yes.
Haley, I think that a wide variety of themes can be okay if they are all like a similar type of thing, which is weird to say, but like if you have like a lifestyle channel, like you can do anything that's encompassing like reading, cooking, cleaning, clothing, whatever, but it may or may not suit the algorithm.
Yeah.
I know Cassie from previously from Miss Sassy Cassie, who got married earlier this year, started a new channel because the algorithm killed her because her most viewed video by like quadruple was her shaving her head like a year and a half ago. And so it was only promoting her to hairstyle people who are on looking for hair videos. And so she wanted to change her channel name anyway. So she started 2 new channels. She started Sassy Cassie because she's married, so she's not a miss anymore. And she started More Sassy Cassie, which is all of like her lifestyle stuff, which is not a horrible idea. And I think that people that like your face and things that you have to say, I think that I don't mind subscribing to multiple channels for someone that I like, just to get all the content that I want to get. I don't think I don't have like a list, a specific number of channels I'll subscribe to. Like I'm only going to subscribe to 200 people, and after that, you're out.
Yeah.
That having multiple channels so that you can do what you need to do and have the algorithm work for you is totally fine with me. I have considered maybe doing a new channel for the planner stuff rather than having it integrated because it's so highly viewed.
Yeah.
And nothing else is getting everything else is still getting views, but I just worry that it's too.
Well, and it's also this is just a YouTube in general question, but I think it's also like what you're wanting to get out of something. And so I always thought I would just keep everything under one channel because it's easier, and why not? And I do get why people change channels. I think it's just like, are you wanting to grow the channel for the sake of the channel growth, or is it disheartening to see the views on whatever aren't getting what you think they should because of different kind of videos? And I think we all wouldn't put videos on YouTube if we didn't want them to be viewed. But I think there's just, I think it's what you want to get out of it. I don't know. It's all very, very confusing.
I think that I know there are people that put a lot of work into specific types of videos. Like I'm sure your cooking with classics take a lot of work. I don't know how those are viewed based off of everything else, but I'm sure that those are one of your more labor intensive to film and edit.
Yeah.
So, and for me, it's like my planner videos are the worst to film because I don't have like a great filming setup for it. My 20-minute sprint videos are horrendous to edit, and those are like my 2 most viewed things. And so it's like, well, that's what everybody wants. I enjoy creating it. It's just, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Maybe that's why. So my cooking with classics aren't viewed nearly as well, partially because I think I'm mostly Authortube, but like I try to make myself booktube, like this little subset. But they are a very labor intensive, but I love them. So in my head, I'm always like, if I love it, I'm just going to put it out there. And if, people don't want to watch it, they don't want to watch it. And that's fine. So yeah, I don't know. I did see if someone asked if it's, okay, here we go. If it's ever too late to start a channel. And I think the answer is definitely no. No, please do start one. And then let us know that you've started one. Because
that's key.
Yeah. We're over here like, how do we find people? We can't find people. You just have to tell us. And that's the hard part.
Well, and etiquette wise, they say that you should never, like when you're trying to get subscribers, you should never be on someone's channel just being like, hey, I have a YouTube channel, you should watch me. But literally, like if you're in the chats with us all the time, whether it's for the chat or for sprints or whatever, and you start a channel, feel free to just stop into a video and be like, hey, I started a channel, whether you actually comment on the video or not. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Like if it's someone that we have, interaction with regularly, That's totally fine.
Well,
I mean, otherwise, we'll never know.
well, and I even had, let me see if I can find it. So on Instagram, and to be fair, I have to like kind of pick and choose because I do get a fair amount of Instagram messages too. But like, let me see, Dr. Ranger Writing, apparently, who I'd never heard of. Don't know if I missed something, but he has like Jenna Streety and Jessica and like several other people who are doing a collaboration in January that Jessica's like, I don't know, that I wasn't aware. And he reached out on Instagram, was like, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. He had to message me multiple times because I didn't see them before, but like, that's the kind of thing that I would definitely be interested in doing. And so, but if I don't know about it, I don't know how to participate. And like, again, part of that is my own barriers to like finding out about things. But yeah, you just gotta let people know.
I think that like a lot of people, like I don't have that problem because I don't have the subscriber count that you do. So like I catch things, I see things pretty often. So it's not. Now sometimes I don't pay attention to Twitter, but I'm not as bad as Kate. I do actually like have alerts on my phone still, but sometimes like if I'm playing a game or something on my phone and it pops up, I hit the swipey button and keep doing what I'm doing. And then a week later I'm like, oh yeah, somebody sent me a message.
So I should check that. Kareem says, I want to start a channel, but I feel like it's so scary because I have school and I'm writing a book and I need to spend time with my family. So here's one of those things that like Jess mentioned earlier, the algorithm wants you to, I think it's easy when you're first starting out to get in your head, like I have to do all the things that YouTube says I need to do, like posting on a certain date and posting so many videos in a certain time span and doing all this stuff. But I think you should try just coming up with a video, and you might find out that you don't like it, but maybe you really do like it and it's a hobby that you can do every once in a while. And I think that's fine too, because if the point is to connect with other people, it doesn't always have to be such a consistent thing. Like I know even though my like YouTube anniversary was sometime in December, I'm pretty sure I wasn't regularly making videos until like the following June, July, August, like later in the year. I think I posted like 2 videos in that time span. So, it's okay. It can take a while and maybe you find out that you like it more than you thought. And so when you have time, you can do it. Like, I don't know. I think because I look at things so much as I want the community, it doesn't always matter if I'm posting. Like I don't have a post date even now because I can't stick to one. But it's YouTube would tell me I'm doing it wrong, but that's okay. It's fine.
I think like when I started out as well, it was like once a week and it was never on the same day. It was just when I had, because in the beginning I thought that coming up with 4 video ideas a month would be so incredibly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then like as time went on, like some months I have 30 videos and I'm like, God, where am I going to fit all these in at? And it really just depends on like what's going on in the world at the time. If you're doing readathons, if you're doing write-a-thons, and you have like everything to try to fit in. And that's when you're like, okay, I need a schedule. But I think in the beginning, I was just doing once a week. And when you start out, don't worry about starting out with like the nicest, best camera and lighting and with a set schedule and all of the awesome graphics and editing software, and just do it and see if you like it. I mean, some people try it and they don't like it, and that's fine.
Yeah. And it's okay to view something and not be creating the thing too. Like, and you're still part of the community. Like there's tons. I am not the biggest like fashion person as I sit in front of you in my t-shirt and often film in my t-shirt. Yes. Oh, but that's a great shirt. But like, I actually love watching fashion videos on YouTube, and I watch several. And Justin and I have talked about like the mid-sized fashion YouTubers we really like and stuff like that. Where I'm not making mid-sized fashion videos myself, but I love watching them, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be like I don't always have to tip my toes into everything. And yeah.
It is the best t-shirt ever.
It's a great shirt.
I'm telling you. because I feel like I do that sometimes when I walk in the stores. Like, that shirt's great. I wonder if they have it in black.
Yes. I have had to get my friend to stop allowing me to buy sweaters and just standard black t-shirty type things. She actually does not help me, surprisingly, and usually encourages it, but you know, that's what makes me happy.
How many sweaters do you need in Texas?
Right, that's also part of it. Not many, but I'm a big fan of sweaters with shorts, and if I'm at home, a cozy sweater is perfect, and because I work from home, who cares what I look like? So I'm usually just in a sweater, and it's great.
I am also a huge fan of sweaters with shorts, so.
Yes, right?
I don't care if my legs are cold, but I need like the top half to be warm.
See? Yeah, exactly.
I can use a sweater right now. Currently, I'm just sitting here with a blankie.
No, I can't see because I put what is on the blankie?
A giant face.
Whose face?
I think it's Thomas Cresswell from the Stalking Jack the Ripper series.
Oh.
Wadsworth. I get it so confused because like it's their ship name and it hurts my brain.
Oh, yeah.
Because their ship name's like half of their last names put together, and then I forget which one's actually their last name.
Yeah. Have you seen that Rick Riordan is trying to campaign for Disney to make a redo of Percy Jackson?
Percy Jackson TV show on Disney Plus. I'm so excited.
Oh.
I know everyone hates the movies, and that's totally fine, but I love them. And they're nothing like the books, but I love them because that was how I was introduced to the book series.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know that it was I didn't read them until I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
And I've read everything except for the one that was just released like a couple months ago. I like all of his repertoire.
Yes. It's very vast.
Right. And I love them so much. And so I'm super excited. Like please, Disney gods.
Yes. Well, so my brother was the one, Robert, and David too also, but Robert, the one who literally doesn't read. I think he was in middle school still when they were coming out, like the first or the last
Percy Jackson series.
Yes, and so he was the one who got me into it, and I was like, I am hooked. But I still haven't read some of the other spinoffs, so I need to do that. Let's see. Also, I put Becca's comment up there because I would like to say that I am very interested in sewing an artist. But it goes back to that kind of thing.
I commented to her, post all the videos.
Yeah. Come on. Am I really behind on reading these comments? I feel like I am now.
You are real behind.
I'm so behind. I'm so sorry, you guys. Keep scrolling.
Someone said that the movies literally have a different plot and it's so annoying, Percy Jackson wise. I think if you watched the movies first though, then it's okay because you're like, wow, these are pretty cool. And then you read the books, you're like, these are awesome. But if you loved the books and you were expecting the movies to be good, then.
Right.
Speaking of adaptations, has anyone watched Pierre Ford's adaptation of Nevernight by Jay Kristoff? Because that was amazing.
Oh, really? I've never read the series either. So
I didn't like Nevernight. Like I gave it like a 2.5 or a 2.25.
You like the adaptation? That's cool.
I love the adaptation. Well, they did like a 3-part, so it's like 20 minutes. It's like the first third of the book, but it was done really well. Jay signed off on it and pretty much just like gave her the reins and was like, they did a live show about it the other day on Pierre's channel, where they talked about how you feel like it's about how he loved giving it to someone who loved the story, that had a very low budget and knew that would take the story to where it needed to go, versus giving it to someone in Hollywood who doesn't give a crap. They just want to make money.
Yeah.
So I know, Lindsay, it's blasphemy that I don't like Nevernight. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to read the second two because I love Jay. Like I love his personality. I think he like is amazing, and I loved the characters and I love the story. I just am not fond of the writing style of that particular book.
Is that the one with a lot of footnotes and stuff?
Footnotes, yeah.
Okay. That usually, what was the last fiction book I read? I don't want to say it out loud because I don't know that it's true. For some reason, I'm remembering that An Abundance of Catherines. Do you remember that John Green book?
Yeah.
Like that had a lot of footnotes in it.
I've only read one John Green book, so well, two
Okay.
now, and I didn't really love either of them. So
Mm-hmm.
personal preferences. I think with Nevernight, you have to go into the audiobooks versus if you don't like footnotes, because the audiobook just integrates them into the text itself. Like there's no, it doesn't tell you that you're reading a footnote. It just is in the text of the story. So the audiobook was really good, but I had already DNF'd the book twice at that point. So I had a hard time giving it a really high rating, knowing that I didn't enjoy the physical book.
Yeah, yeah.
But I wiffle waffled on whether I wiffle waffled on whether I wanted to continue on with the series. But after watching the adaptation and just learning more about Jay and enjoying some of his other books since then, I really want to read it. So
Yeah.
I really want to know what happens now. Okay.
See, I always think it's so interesting which books do and don't work in audio format better than like book format.
I think with that world that he built, like some of the footnotes were kind of needed because you needed to know what was going on, and then some of them were just like, it's because it's the cat. It's the shadow cat is the one telling the story, and the shadow cat is a dick. And so like the footnotes are there basically for the cat to go off on its tangents. And I feel like that would be me. Like I would be the person that would be going off on tangents and would need footnotes. And I think the idea of footnotes is great, but it just didn't
work
for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But when it's integrated into the story, it's great.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but if you haven't watched Nevernight and you're not sure if you're going to like it, or read Nevernight, if you haven't read it yet and you're not sure if you liked it, go to Piera Ford's channel, watch her adaptation. It's great. She's a perfect Mia. The guy that plays the love interest is fucking hot. It's great.
I think that's all you needed.
All you need to
know. To get us slightly back on topic, though, we will, of course, always shift back to books and movies and whatever, because
we're horrible people if that's what happens.
Should we talk about the future?
We shall discuss the future.
I did
like 2020 vision.
Yes.
The
joke. Can you imagine the people who first thought of that and were like, I'm gonna have to wait till the year 2020 to use it?
We've only got 2 weeks left.
Yeah, yeah.
For a while, you can't. It's the first time I heard it.
Great. What do you, Jess, want to see more of from the Authortube community in the future?
Ooh. I want to see. This is gonna sound really odd.
Oh, I'm excited.
I kind of want to see more negativity.
Oh, like talking about it, or
about it instead of hiding behind like the happy face and the like everything is great. I want more open, honest communication. It's okay for stuff to fall apart.
Yeah.
And to feel, and I think you should feel okay with saying that shit hit the fan and that it fell apart. And I want to see more of that. I want to see more, because I feel like for people that are just starting out on their channel, or people that are just starting in their writing journey, and they feel like everything's great all the time, and it's not. And I feel like we're doing a disservice to people who are just starting out by making it seem like everything's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think that's interesting. I feel like vlogs are a good place for that. If only because, you don't have to, well, we were talking about something like this the other day. Blogs are a good place to put a lot of stuff because it doesn't have to be the entire topic of the video,
Yeah.
but it can be something that you're like struggling with. And I don't know how many vlogs I've had where I've said I'm going to do something and haven't figured it out by the end of the vlog, and I'm just like still frustrated. I also, though, as like a general topic, and this might be like a me specific kind of thing, the times I've tried to share, this is a good and bad thing. So the times I've tried to share, like when things didn't pan out the way I thought, or like my timeline wasn't what I thought, or like generally anything like that, I usually get a really good response from the majority of the people. But then I notice that there's like 5% of people who aren't usually vocal who I've gotten like attacked from about all sorts of things. And so I would say that's probably just a me thing, or like a slightly higher subscriber count kind of thing, where it's like people latch onto that and they're just like, you're the worst and terrible and haha, this is why you will fail. So yeah.
I think 5% is the percent that you should just ignore.
That's very true. That's exactly. It's just like all of the downvotes on videos. Like at a certain point, you're like, well, that's just the 5% of people who aren't gonna like you. So I see what you're saying. I actually, now hearing that back, I was like, that's so dumb, because I've been avoiding doing stuff like that because I was so upset by something at one point. But that is dumb. That is dumb. You know, there's always going to be 5% of something that aren't going to like you. So.
Well, and like you said, like, don't make an entire NaNoWriMo rant video like someone currently on the screen. But, you know, it's okay to say, like, in your weekly vlog that like something negative happened, or that things weren't perfect, or whatever the case may be. It's okay to be negative.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be negative all the time. I mean, if you want to be negative all the time, you can, but you can't have a positive life with a negative mind.
Yeah. That is the interesting thing. I'm just gonna bring it back to BookTube, but that's the interesting thing with me for BookTube versus AuthorTube, because I don't know that AuthorTube has an exact equivalent. Because BookTube, there was a time period where you could get super popular by being really negative about another popular thing or a book series, or picking stuff apart, and it's really hard to do that within the AuthorTube world. Yeah.
Yeah, like one of the most popular, most viewed videos on BookTube are rant reviews.
Yeah.
Where like something is so horrible and you just trash it for like a full 20 minutes. And it is the weirdest thing ever. But I like to watch those sometimes. Like if I watch it for books that I love. I don't get offended and I don't get angry. I like to see other people's side of things. Like maybe there's something that I missed that was like really dumb that I loved or whatever. And I'll watch those sometimes about books that like I'm not sure how I feel about. Like I'll watch like a 5-star review and like a 1-star review and like kind of try to figure out where I fall.
Yeah. Well, someone was talking about commentary videos, and I saw someone mention Lindsay Ellis before, and she's more video essayist. I loved the recent Beauty and the Beast adaptation. Maybe one of the few people who liked the Emma Watson version. And see, okay, I think it's great. Anyways, so, but she made a video about it basically being like, it's not the worst, but it's not good kind of thing. But I loved watching it.
Bad. Where is it bad?
Where is it bad? I think it was partially like Beauty and the Beast in general, because, you know, some people are like, it's Stockholm Syndrome and all this other stuff, which is also...
I mean, it is, but that's the story, so, I mean...
Anyways, but I like watching those where I'm like, I just don't agree with you, but it's nice to hear it. Or what I really love, I know that Lainey, who does AuthorTube and BookTube stuff, I love her split of doing things like that. Ginger reads Lainey. She had this really old video where she was just ripping into the Divergent series. And it's still one of my favorite rant reviews because I got so mad with that series that it was like just it was so cathartic to watch someone else be like, this is the worst kind of thing. Like oh my gosh. Anyways.
Caitlin's upset about the auto-tune in Beauty and the Beast. Look,
okay,
everything is auto-tune now. I have a degree in audio engineering and recording, so just go with me here. Everything is auto-tune now. Is some parts of it worse than others? Yeah. Is the music not the best singing ever? Yeah. But like Luke Evans, come on. But also, I mean, it's fine. Like it's there to enjoy, not to be perfect.
Yeah.
Perfection is not as much fun. There
Well,
are there are singers that are technically perfect and they're so boring to watch.
yeah.
And there are singers that, hit a couple of flat notes or a couple of high notes or whatever. They're just off a little. And they're so much fun to watch that it doesn't matter. So perfection doesn't mean great, which is weird, but true.
Yeah. I will agree that the opening song, the first time I heard it, like when I was watching the movie, I was kind of like, they could have made this a little bit more seamless, like at least try. But after that, I didn't care. So,
Uh, it's just fun. Like, and for me, I don't love the cartoon version of Beauty and the Beast. It's never been my favorite. Beauty and the Beast has never been my favorite story. Right? I know, like, it's never been my favorite. And I think that I loved the live action version because there are so many familiar faces in it that I love, because there are characters in it that I love. But uh, the songs were a lot better, and the cartoon version. The
the Beast song is so
the
good.
Beauty and the Beast song, like the Angela Lansbury version, is still my favorite.
Yeah,
Of, like, any. Like, better than the John Legend, Ariana Grande, better than Emma Thompson. Like, the Angela Lansbury version is key.
yes.
Yes.
Also, yes.
Also, yes to Aladdin.
Well, I was gonna say I didn't like the Aladdin version as much. This is the thing, going back to like YouTube wanting specific stuff, but I really just want to do something where I just talk about Disney the entire time. And we're just gonna talk about the movies all the time.
Me, you, and Brooke should have like a Disney live chat.
We should, yeah. Just this is what you're getting. It's all about Disney. Let's talk. I want to do. I don't know that if y'all watch the Try Guys, but Eugene has a Rank King series that deals with it, and he ranked the Disney movies, and I was appalled by some of his choices, which made it even better. But I want to do that over again with my version.
A whole Disney Channel. That is genius. Just make a Disney Channel, and all three of us can just share responsibility for the channel.
Yeah.
Do it.
We have topics we can discuss forever. Also, sorry, got us sidetracked again. We were talking about the future of Authortube. Jess wants more of ranty or negativity potentially. Poor Becca has experienced this. I am trying to think what I want to see more of. This is my problem with booktube, kind of, is that or not a problem, I know this is debated as a problem, but there's like specific staples, and so within the staples, like I don't watch haul videos, and I don't really watch a lot of wrap ups, although maybe I should watch more wrap ups. There's certain things I do and don't watch. I watch your wrap ups.
I haven't had any lately because who reads?
No, you're getting back into it again.
I've read 8 books this month.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm trying to think of what AuthorTube staples are, but I'd like to see us have like another pillar that's a staple, because I feel like there's chatty discussion-y videos, writing vlogs, and then like advice still.
We need to come up with like a staple that everybody can do.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I just want there to be like something else that's within that. Or maybe I miss, again, because I feel like there's so many channels that I don't know about. I guess live streams. I feel like I'm missing, I could be missing something just by not having watched people. Yes, I want to see, and I would love to get more in the middle of both booktube and authortube. I don't know that that's going to happen, but that's always my hope.
And I think that like You need to get on the bandwagon and do more booktube content. Do it.
I'll do it.
Lindsay Puckett does occasionally do some booktube content still.
Lindsay does.
So she has switched more over to Authortube content, much like Kate did. Catty-tastic, Ginger Reads Laney, Pages and Pens all do a hybrid. But Ben Sanders. That's all I got off the top of my head. That's horrible.
Yeah. Wolf Shop Publishing does a split. You, yeah.
This guy right here. That's all I got.
I think tags are so interesting. BookTube did the same thing where people just kind of stopped doing tags. Which I think is so funny because they were a staple for such a long time. But I noticed that tags weren't always my favorite. I have been liking how tags have been reintroduced, but like kind of changed. So it'll be like within a different video or like even within a vlog, and they're like, here are some of the tag questions that I'll do as I do this thing. Yeah, rather than just sitting down and doing it. But I do think it's interesting how tags just completely went away and then stopped. Oh, I love Francina's.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to type a comment to that. Absolutely. I love Francina too. Like I said, I was just going off the top of my brain. Yes. And you know. Bandy says we need a pig and book channel. I won't say that they're completely a pig and book channel, but Crescent Moon Reads.
Yeah.
Does a lot of pagan content.
I feel like she's someone I haven't watched recently, but I used to watch a lot of.
I used to watch a lot of it too, but I don't agree with a lot of her statements about certain things. And it's because we have a very generational gap. Because she's like early 20s and I'm early 30s, and there's just some things that I don't necessarily agree with, but that's totally fine. We're all allowed to have our own opinions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still watch her pretty regularly. So.
I will say, because I pulled up Caro's comment, I think Caro does a really good job. There's a lot of them, again, because I feel like I'm not really these groups that aren't real groups, but in my head I'm like not as involved with. Caro does a lot more collaboration, which I think is really cool. I think panel discussions about books already on, I think that could be really interesting. And I did love, I know Ray B. Shaw, among some other people, did this thing where it's like they all kind of helped write a story together. So you kind of followed along on their channels as like one wrote the first bit and then they moved on. I thought that was so cool. It was such a good idea. So I'd love to see more stuff like that. I don't know what you would call that, but I guess more collaboration in general, potentially.
Well, and I think the thing about like having a panel discussion is you'd either A, have to do it recorded and edit it, or B, have someone who's going to keep you on topic. Like that's their full job, is to keep you on topic if you're doing it live. Because we don't do on topic.
That's true. That's true.
Ever.
Yeah, we would be bad about that.
We would be it would be really hard for us to do like a panel discussion because we would not be talking about the actual content we were supposed to be talking about.
So. We'd 100% get sidetracked. Well, I know that oh my gosh, the Courtney Project is on part of the is it the Publishable show? They've changed it to be its own channel now. And I know that they basically record ahead of time and then edit down. I wouldn't say that's my favorite style of doing something. I like the live element a little bit more, but yeah, so I feel like the moderator would be, yeah. I don't know what this means, Sasha, but I like it. I feel like it's a reference I'm missing.
Same.
Let's see. What do y'all want to see more of also? I know people are leaving it in the comments too, but.
Kara says that her and Tamara are good about staying on topic. You're not wrong. Like, they have the Authortube news channel.
I love the podcast. Yeah.
I love that podcast. And I think that they do an amazing job of staying on topic versus you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because if we were alone first and then could accept that it doesn't really ever feel like they edit too much. I know y'all do edit some stuff out, but yeah, how would we do that? I don't know how we'd structure us in structure. Maybe not the best.
No, it's bad. No.
Yeah, I think it would also be interesting that so the evolution of AuthorTube over time, I feel like there's a lot more people who started out who are just now getting into publishing. So like we've all been following along their writing journey and have seen them be published, but I still feel like there's a lot more of us that are just writers and aren't published authors yet. So I wonder how to make a good mix of a panel. Because obviously there's some people like Alexa who's traditionally published. And then like Lizelle, I think, has her deal, which will be Trad Pub, and then Kevin has an agent. And so there's like a couple people who are in this realm. But then there's a lot of self-publishing. And then there's even more subsection of us that are just like kind of not
losers
there yet. Huh?
Losers.
No, Jess.
We're losers. No, I think that I do think that like with a panel, you do have to have some sort of knowledge that you and I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, depending on the topic. If the topic is like how to write a whole bunch of books and never publish anything, then we're good.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, you and I, we should do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like there is something about a panel that requires some amount of additional experience almost. That we're just, but that's the great thing about Authortube Chat is that we're literally just chatting about stuff and it's fine. So it works, different stuff works different ways. I'm trying to think if, I know there are some people who edit that are on AuthorTube, like Dahlia Burrows is a freelance editor and she's on AuthorTube. I don't know if she has any specific videos. I think it's also hard from an editor's perspective to talk about that as they're editing because it's not their work. So they don't have ownership over it. So even though they have the responsibility and it is their job to edit it, you can't necessarily share it. It's kind of like, at some point, I'd love to do like a beta reading vlog, but I'd have to have a friend who trusted me enough to beta read for them and then also vlog it and like all this stuff. And that's a hard thing to do. So
you can have all of my stories. You can beta read them all.
I've already volunteered.
A volunteer as tribute to read your crappy work.
Yeah. And to help make it better.
Natalia does also do freelance editing as well.
Ooh.
So how do you put it up there while I'm talking about it? How are you that good? It's there on the screen.
It is there. I clicked.
I didn't see it and I would just like brought it up and I looked over and there it were.
I was listening to you.
Like we share a brain.
Let's see. Are there any other community changes that we would like to see? I mean, honestly, if people would stop trying to sell stuff to fellow authortubers, that would be great. Or stuff that's so highly priced. Like I do think that the way Natalia did her Preptober workbook, that was like a donation-based thing. And obviously you are required to give some money. You didn't just get it for free. I can appreciate that method of doing something.
Marissa also recently did a 90-day planner hoochie jigger thingy. I'm looking it up right now as I'm demolishing what it's actually called. 90-day novel planner.
Yeah.
It's $20 on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's fair. It's a physical book that gets delivered to you. It's $20.
Yeah.
And it's a workbook.
I know.
So it's not necessarily like someone's opinion or them telling you how to do something. It's a workbook to help you work through completing your novel. And I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. This is where there's a lot of except that I feel like it's not nuanced because my rule has always been don't be an asshole. But I do feel like there's obviously where those things to me aren't bad and they aren't taking advantage and they aren't whatever. And then there's other things where people are trying to like take their audience and pretend they have knowledge on stuff. And even if it's in book format, that doesn't mean it's okay just because it's lower priced still, because, you know, they're lying about their credentials for being able to give this advice. So there's still kind of things, but it'll be fascinating to see. I thought, and this is where I was wrong, I thought that after the first round of some of the stuff that it would be over, but it feels like it has come back with a vengeance. So
it's circling back around into astronomical proportions, I think. But like I said, I think that like with a quick Google search, you can look up like how to figure out what someone's sales are. And you can do that. And you know, it's just, there's a lot of really questionable things out there, and I think you just have to protect yourself. And if you're not sure about something, if you're not sure about what someone's credentials are or what the validation of something that you're considering purchasing is, ask the community as a whole. Like, if you know people, I don't, you have to ask publicly. You could ask in direct messages or whatever. But ask the community if anyone has purchased it, if they enjoyed it, and ask that way versus reading reviews on whatever they're selling's page, because that's not always trustworthy.
Yeah.
Ask people you trust. It's the same as like picking views based off of reviews. You read reviews of books by readers that have enjoyed things that you've enjoyed. You don't find readers that have hated every book that you've loved and read something that they loved, because that would be silly.
Yes. Yeah. Same, Carol. Same.
I've tried really hard to just like block and delete everyone, Carol, but sometimes they just slip through the cracks and you're like, oh, I hate this person.
I know. Sometimes it's upsetting because you didn't think that would happen. So
sometimes it makes me very angry because I like thought that I had solved the issue and then not so much. And I'm like, dang it. Didn't want that.
Yeah. So, and this is the interesting thing. She asks, what are your thoughts about blogging about self-publishing as you were going through it, publishing your own books, not having a ton of knowledge but some. So here's the thing. I made a video a while ago, but I think a lot of it is just how you frame something. If you're like, the 10 steps you need to publish or to do before you publish, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you're just saying this is what I did, or this is a lesson I learned, or this is whatever, and maybe this can help you, I don't think anyone can ever really get mad about that, as long as you're upfront about stuff. So I actually think blogging is a lot like what we do on Authortube, which is just documenting the stages it takes to get to something. So like eventually when Jess and I do have our books published, we're going to have a full like backlog of things where people can watch it, you know, have seen it grow, have seen the whole process. And I think that blogging about your experience as you do it is a great way to like look back and reflect and or share what did and didn't work. So
there's a difference between the 10 steps I took to self-publish and the 10 steps you have to take to self-publish. Huge difference.
Yeah. And I think here's the thing. I think some people like pretend to get tripped up for that. But we're all writers. We all understand the power of words. We don't need to be purposely vague or like manipulative. So, but honestly, I would totally read a blog about someone's experience as they're self-publishing. So I think that would be great. Well, I feel like we've hit the end of our notes, other than, did we want to talk about our book stuff? Is that again?
I pulled the selection.
Hey, all right. Well, okay. So one of the things that Jess and I talking about stuff that we want to see kind of going forward, the future of Authortube Chat. So Jess and I do these every month. We alternate channels, and we inevitably, with however much time left, just talk about books and TV shows and whatever. So we decided we would add one more little element to our things that we do at the end of these and start our own version of a not so super serious book club.
Not so serious.
Not so serious, and that it's only like, I think if we're doing 12 Authortube chats, there will be 6 book club things as part of that. So like you have 2 months to read the book and chat with us about it. This is more for my ability to read rather than Jess's.
One of us reads 8 books a month. One of us reads 8 books a year.
Hey,
figure out which is which.
Hey, I think I'm gonna get to 30 books this year. All right.
Good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think I just finished 81 yesterday.
Okay, well.
Oh, you're all jolly donut.
Someday I will get to that point. Well, so should we drum roll since you have the books?
So for the first bi-monthly readathon, because it's
we have options. We have options. We're gonna do a vote. I don't know. Are we gonna do like a poll on Twitter or a poll on here? Can you do an in-chat poll with the thing? So
replay.
You could do it with the replay. That would take y'all having watched back to where I was able to put the card in. So what I'm thinking instead is that we could do a medley of things. Jess could post on Twitter. I could post on Instagram stories.
Oh yeah, Instagram stories. That's a thing.
Just kind of gauge. We'll add up all the votes at the end and see what we come up with.
We tried to pick things that are like popular or things that we want to read or pull on a community tab. Way to go, Charlie. You're a genius.
Yes, that's another good option.
I just got a community tab like a month ago, so I don't think about it because I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, things that are like either popular or probably going to be available via your library or Scribd or Hoopla or Libby or something that, you know, so that you don't have to go out and buy a book because
this girl's on a book buying ban still.
I'm not on a book buying ban, but I already own all. We went through things that we both have and tried to collect things that either we have or have easy access to. So
yeah.
The first book, as Magical Whimsy have already stated, was A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness.
Hoo-hoo.
Do I know what this is about? No.
But
did I buy it on Book Outlet for super cheap? Yes. Do you remember what it is?
I know, I have no idea. Witches are the title, and it was super hyped up on BookTube like 3 or 4 years ago, and I never read it. So
I think it's maybe like a historical fiction. I don't know. It's pretty.
Yeah. That's what matters.
It's pretty. It's pretty. Book number 2, Heartless by Marissa Meyer.
Yes, this is one I do own that I haven't read. I do love the Lunar Chronicles series, but had not gotten.
Hey, about books. Chill. He's excited.
It's a TV show? Did I miss that? Did you know that?
I knew that it was becoming a TV show, but I didn't know that it was like out already. Ooh. It's okay, Bubby. You chill.
So cute. Hello.
Would you stop it? I'm so hyper. I don't know why. Okay. Book number 3. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Very hyped. Access. Oh, Pup, what is going on?
I think that like they heard Mom pull in.
It's
super hyped.
Yeah.
Chill out. Okay. And then book number 4, Strange the Dreamer by Lily Taylor.
Another one, hugely hyped. I can see the little award on it.
It's a, I can't read it. It's an honor book. I don't even know what it means.
Yeah. Is it the one with the P? The little
You're in the way. I can't reach the door from here. What are we going to do now? Oh my God, go away.
Panic.
Hi.
Poor little pup. He was so ready. I'm so surprised it didn't. Duke is just laying down. He actually left a couple minutes ago. I was like, I'm going to lay over here now.
As I choke and die. So yeah, one of these 4 books. We'll have polls in various places. Feel free to vote more than once. We don't care. We're not policing your votes.
We are not. Yes. Yeah.
And then we'll announce the winner somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, so this is a book that we'll read and we'll talk about in like February. Yeah. So again, no rush. Or you can just like, speed read it the day before if that's your method of reading. So you got options. This is helping me because I'm trying to read more and make more time for reading, which I've gotten a lot better at now that I'm out of my reading slump. So, and these are all books we wanted to read.
I have 200 unread books, so there was a lot to choose from.
I promise I'm not bored. I'm just sick.
She's sick. I'm trying to get dogs out of the room.
It's a very real struggle. Yes, that's what we all want to read more. I see that too. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Well, we're glad that people are excited and or want to read with us and or want to chat with us because again, that is just how we do things.
Well, and we kind of just, it goes with what we talked about, that we want to see more booktube, authortube crossovering and things like that. So
yeah.
And fun times. I am co-running a YA book club at my local bookstore this year.
In person.
So that's going to be fun. It's a new thing. I'm trying to reach out and be in the world. And our first book, which I don't think she's announced yet, but our first book that I picked is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson.
Ooh, oh my gosh.
I wanted to pick something that I have read before because there are actual teenagers that are reading it. And sometimes teen books are not really teen appropriate, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what talking about Lindsay, she also made a video about that recently, which I thought was really good.
So I picked something that I have read, that way I was for sure that it was teen appropriate.
This is all right. This is good. That's one I still need to read too. So
it's so good. I'm pretty excited.
Look at that. See? And there's Lindsay. She also looked
and there's Lindsay. Lindsay, you should read the book. And then in February, when we have the book club, you should drive down to Chillicothe and come to our book club because you're only like 45 minutes away.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, y'all are so close. That's crazy.
Or super close.
Yay.
Hit like this.
That's one thing I would love. So Lindsay actually went to the BookNet Fest, right? And got to meet some fellow authortubers, booktubers in person. I would love to do that this coming, because obviously I've met some other authortubers in person, like Becca, who I've met at like several corners of North America.
Yeah.
And Brooke.
And Canada.
Yeah. So but I'd love to meet more people. I wish there was a way that that could happen. I don't know that the next year is that feasible. But as the community grows, you never know.
We've talked about like doing like a author tuber vacation and running away. And I still think we should totally do that. Run away from everyone.
Yes.
Hide away.
Well, do we have anything else we want to go on a tangent on?
I'm reading comments now.
Yeah, same. That's what for real, BookNet Fest looked like so much fun. So
where is that one at?
I think it's in Orlando.
Oh.
Oh.
It's really far away from me. Like, I realize it's the same distance for Lindsay, but like, it's really far away.
That's what we're gonna have to pick a place.
Dang it.
I'd like to.
I mean, I'm probably just gonna have to get over my fear of flying and deal with it, but
Do it. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna have to look up when the dates for Book That Fest are. I've decided that this year is the last year that I'm gonna have my annual pass holder at Disney World. So I simultaneously need to make the most of it. And then also like I'm done at the end of the year.
this year's the last year?
Huh?
This year's the last year?
Yeah, because I want to travel to different places and as much as I love Disney World. And it costs like a fair amount for the annual pass holder, but if you go more than once, it's worth it. So, but I figure I need to save up for a couple of the trips that I have planned in my mind. So, yeah.
Go to other places for a little while.
Yes. So, a couple years, then I'm sure I'll go back to Disney at some point. See, it sounds great. Food, Disney, books. What more could you want?
Taylor says that they want an Authortube writer retreat where y'all just write and make videos together. There are those. They exist. I've never been to one. Kate has.
Yeah. I went to the Wander Writers Retreat. So I think I talked about it when I made the video from when I was in Canada, because I went a little bit early and hung out with Becca and just explored Toronto. But I found that there's like a certain number of people I'm good with. And then it's too many people because we were all in one house, and it's really cool. And if you can be around a lot of people better than I can, which probably is a fair amount of people, like I'm pretty introverted.
Probably not a fair amount of people because we're talking to each other on the internet.
Maybe that's true. So I would love that. The problem is like I think I'm good. I think I was talking with Jess about this. I think I'm good with like a solid 5 or 6, and then it's like too many people, and even that is like you can only do it for so long before you're like all kind of stir crazy. But I still think that would be so fun, because also sometimes unfortunately, I'm making my other friends. I'm like, can I just record this real quick? Do you mind if I do something like right here because it looks really cool, and they don't get it, which is fine. But if I could be around people who were like doing the same thing, it would make me feel slightly less uncomfortable. Slightly less.
I think fewer people is better because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Too many people. I'm not excited.
Yes. Do we want to end on this, even though I don't know that Jess and I have any advice to share that we haven't shared before? But any ways to grow on BookTube or AuthorTube?
Play the algorithms games.
Yeah.
Do what the algorithm wants.
Yeah.
Which is content longer than 10 minutes, all in the same category, have a scheduled day and time of uploading.
I'd even say that, like, while I do think that'll get you more in front of the faces of people, because AuthorTube's so small, I have found so many people through recommendations of other people, kind of like with Lindsay's thing. And the way to do that is just make friends with people. Comment on their videos. I'm also terrible because I'm sure there are people who are really good about other social media, but if I'm not seeing someone comment in the videos, I assume they just don't watch the videos, which I know is not true because you can look at the percentage of people that comment versus view a video. But, if you're a fellow AuthorTuber, I think that's still the best way to like make AuthorTube friends, and then you will slowly grow in your community and meet more people.
Yeah. Comment with people. Comment in people's videos and be genuine. Don't just try to get in with people so that you can have more subscribers. Don't try to befriend people that have more subscribers than you, just so that you can get that exposure, because people can tell when you're doing that.
Yeah.
Or at least I believe we can.
Yeah, I think you can eventually, no matter what. And Caro's comment about posting content you want to post, yeah, I think
Absolutely.
because I think that's another thing where people can tell if you're not interested in what you're doing, you know, people will notice. But I mean, at a certain point, you have to try a lot of things before you realize they're not for you. So, you know, there's some amount of trial and error in there. But yeah, just figure out what you like and keep doing it.
And just, I mean, it's really, I won't say that it's hard to grow on YouTube, because obviously it's not, because you've seen Kate, right? But I think that a lot of it is being genuine, posting things that you want to post, and being part of the community is really all that, I mean, just, it's just what helps. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I will say that I think part of the reason, you know, I had some videos that were already sort of popular, and then I'd see them like a few days later get kicked into the algorithm, and that would get really popular. I have not figured out the secret to that because they've been an assortment of types of videos where it's just people who never even heard of AuthorTuber or writing community on YouTube before. So I think that's really cool. I think Alexa's probably acted as like an introduction for people to AuthorTube or, you know, the writing community. So I don't know what the secret answer to getting part of the algorithm is, but you can't be part of the algorithm if you don't make videos and chat with people and aren't authentic and whatever. So
And I think having something different to say can help as well. Coming up with something that not everyone else is doing, which, I mean, some people can and some people can't. I don't think I'm great at coming up with stuff that other people aren't already doing. Like, I'll have like a great idea and like I'll go search for it. I'm like, oh, like 12 people have already done that. Cool. Um, but I think it just, you should do things that you want to do. I mean, just finding out that 20 other people have done something doesn't stop me from doing it. I still do it.
yeah.
But
Well,
I
that's one of
don't,
your staples. Yeah.
yeah, I don't not do something because someone else has done it. But I do, I'm trying to find something that I can put into the community
Yeah.
that is a plus for the community. It's something the community can enjoy.
Yeah.
I haven't found that thing yet, but it's a constant search.
Authortube Chat, duh.
Authortube Chat, yeah. Fine, okay, but like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know.
Something else. Something that's just me, without your face in it.
Yeah.
So that you're not the top thing that people search when they find my channel. I don't know what it is right now. I don't even know if you're in there right now, but it was real bad for a while.
It's looking at stats is always so much fun. All right. Well, do we have any questions or other comments or whatever? I ran out of tea a little bit ago, so if not, your girl's gonna go
What?
fix that situation.
I must look. I'm looking right now. Where do people come from to get here? Do they look up Kate Kavanaugh and that's how they find me?
For those who make AuthorTube videos already, the stats are legitimately my favorite thing. And if you ever have a question on stats, if you just ask me, I'm totally happy to share stats with you too and just chat about stats forever.
Let's see. You're like not even in. Oh, there you are. There you are. You're like number 25 now.
We'll see.
It's not bad.
Totally disappeared. Also, look at that. Haruki Murakami video. See? So it's just all sorts of different ways and people and stuff. Joy asks where I'm traveling to next. I am pet sitting. I'm cat sitting for my brother and his wife. So I'm driving up to Dallas while he's with her at a different place for a bit, and then they're both going to come down. So I don't know if that counts, but holidays will be in Dallas.
Holidays in Dallas. I'm driving about an hour northeast of my house on Christmas Day to spend the day with my grandfather and to meet his new girlfriend. So,
Oh, that'll be fun.
yeah, I'm pretty excited. She seems very nice.
Yeah. Also, someone mentioned it earlier, but it was as you were doing this little thing that I wanted to say it too. But the curls are very cute. And I like the little two-tone, the little ombre going on.
It's because I haven't dyed my hair in like 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 weeks. I don't know, it's been a minute.
I like it though. I do see other people saying Catty-tastic was their introduction. I think kind of same.
I don't even know if I'm subscribed to Catty-tastic. Like I watch a lot of her videos, but I don't know if it's because they pop up in the recommended or if I'm actually subscribed. I have no idea.
I cannot tell you how many times that's happened to me where I thought I was subscribed to someone because I watched so much of their stuff and then I realized I wasn't subscribed.
Because it just like I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that yet, and I click on it and then I watch it and then I like go to find them and I'm like, they're not in my subscription feed.
Yeah, what is this? I don't know.
Better than I do. I don't.
Yeah, that's what they want us to think. That's what.
Yeah, well.
Well, all right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for chatting about the community. And I feel like I should say one final time how awesome this community has been. I have met so many friends and I've gotten to talk with other writers, and I will never not think this is just the coolest thing. And it feels like we all kind of stumbled into this on accident, but we found people, and how cool is that? So hopefully it's just bigger and better and more awesome things in the future for Authortube. Yeah.
Hopefully we have great 2020 vision.
Yes. Bring it back.
Bringing it back. Hopefully. I think it's going to be a much better year. I'm hoping that it's a year with less drama and less crazy. And I think it's all moving in the right direction. I think we're getting rid of the things that we don't want in the community. And I think we're doing a good job of that. So
yeah, and I think we're all more open to talk to you about it now. So
yes. And you know, if you ever have questions, you can always find us on all sorts of other social media. Not that we are the controllers of all things, but we've been around for a little while, so we know some things.
Yeah, I feel like I probably know more now than I did at the start of the year.
Well, I mean, not even just the start of this year, but the things that you learn in the 3 years of starting a channel to being here.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Who knew I would know like how to do a live video and how to do algorithms and
all the random stuff we've learned for Authortube. It's crazy.
Speaking of learning how to go live, I am filming a new updated how to go live on StreamYard versus on Google Hangouts because we don't do Google Hangouts anymore. And that'll be going up sometime later this month. So there'll be a new one with new tips and tricks for how to go live.
Yay. And I'm seeing people like hoping for the year of chill, motivation. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Jessica, for hanging out with me. And we will see you all next month or in a video on our channels in not too much time, I'm sure. Okay.
And don't forget to vote for our book club.
Yes, we will put it up on the community tab or
everywhere.
Some place. Yes. Thank you guys. Bye.